Y'all, we doing it today. Yep. So get your tea, get your popcorn. It's gonna be some real shit said, all right? Hey world, what's good? It's your boy LG, and I'm back with another video. It's gonna be a interesting one today. I've been holding it back for a minute, and it's been a minute. Like, I've been holding this in for a good minute, but I feel like, you know, this shit really needs to be said. You know, it really needs to be addressed, you know, for my mental sake, because I personally am tired of wrestling with it, you know, and you know, and I thought about it and try to rationalize it for a long ass time, and you know, I've come to the conclusion that my ex ain't shit. Now, let me preface this. For those that knew me at around about 2013-ish, I was in a relationship with her name is Simone. Simone Howard. Some of y'all remember. It was public, so it's not like it's private or anything. It was public. The relationship was public. You know, it was kind of a somewhat of a long distance relationship. Lasted for about 2 years, and you know, I did the best I could, and I, you know, honestly thought, you know, I was in love. Like, I really loved her. You know, I really cared about her, and you know, I really wanted to marry her. And it was a interesting ordeal, and it was a tough one. You know, and it was really tough to deal with, especially after the breakup. And I want to say we officially broke up around about April of 2015. And for those that remember, I went to North Carolina, then went from North Carolina after 6 months back to Dallas, and then back to San Antonio. You know, Dallas, you know, the idea in Dallas was to start rebuilding in Dallas, but it didn't work out. The money wasn't there. I wasn't able to get a job quick enough, and it just didn't work. So it was just a really tough ordeal. So after going back to San Antonio, a few months after, you know, me and Coley had a falling out, and you know, I was trying to talk with my ex Simone, and we was trying to talk and all of that, trying to get everything fixed up. And it came a time where she wasn't talking to me for a minute, and I was really, you know, I really felt like I needed that emotional support, and I wasn't getting it. You know, I felt, that's the way I felt, especially from her. And it came down to a point where we had like you know, we had multiple ways of communicating. One of the ways was email. So if it wasn't over the phone, it was email. So I'm going to pull this up, and I'm going to try to read this. And this is what I sent her. So I'm going to kind of gloss over this a little bit, if y'all guys can. If y'all can't read it, if it's hard for y'all to read, I'm going to try to gloss over some of this. Okay, so look, I know it may not make anything better, but I really do love you. This has been really hard for me the past few days, especially today. I could hardly keep myself from crying on the way home, and I could barely enjoy my day. All I asked was to talk things out. I know that there are some things that I was not understanding, and that's why I asked you those questions. I really felt like I was doing all I can, not to mention you told me that it was enough for you, but now at this point you're showing me that it's not. Hold on to that, because I'm going to use that later. And I need to know the sudden change. Yes, I've made some mistakes and bad choices, but at the end of the day, you are still the one I want. This has been the only thing I've really been asking from you is support, including the sharing, which you agreed to do. That's another thing. You told me you understood where I was coming from, and I was holding you to that. As for me getting Shocky and others involved, which is my sister-in-law, I only did that because I was trying to get insight on you and your actions since you didn't talk to me. And this is going to be the big thing. Like I say this all the time, but I really feel it needed feel it's needed to really say this again. I did not propose to you for Facebook likes. I post what is important to me, and you are one of them. I truly love and care about you, flaws, mistakes, and all. And I really wanted to and believe that you are the one God's placed in my life to be my wife. Heck, we even agreed to it, so why not stop now? Who can offer you better than love, respect, honor, and a family? You knew I didn't have a lot of money from the start, and I was being held back as well, so why is that a problem now? All right. So, yeah, that's just that, okay? And basically, I was just kind of emotionally at a weak state, you know, and I was just really like, okay, look, these are the things that you're telling me. You told me that it's good enough. Boom, okay? So this is what she answers back, okay? Okay, I see. Lawrence, I feel like we are going in two different directions as far as our relationship. I'm sorry if I failed you and us. Yes, I did say enough. It was enough at the time, but as we know, as we ask, no, what? I don't know. She kind of messed that up there. As we know, things change over time. I feel that I cannot continue in this relationship with you anymore. I also have to think about myself, and if I really want to continue with my health, as well as this is causing me needed and wanted stress on us both. Okay. Now, here's where it's gonna get really one of the bullshit things that I'm calling bullshit on. Okay. I also noticed that you try to put us or me first, and it's not working. That we have just way too much to work out separately right now in our point of lives, and not making the relationship any easier than it has to be. You're almost in your 30s. I know things haven't went your way, but honestly, it's not good. I feel you should be already doing things and have your own place and etc. I also know that this takes time as well. I want better for you, and I want to see you be truly happy with someone as well. See, this is where I find it to be bullshit for several reasons. Because one, to me, a relationship is not just about what you have. Okay, it's not just about what you currently have. Okay, it's about not only just what you can bring to the table, but what are you doing to get to the things that you want. You know what I'm saying? That's what to me makes a relationship. You feel me? And yes, I was dealing with some things, you know, prior and finding out things that I was being held back from people, and noticing that people weren't holding up their end of the bargain, and basically just using me because of my eagerness to support and be a help to somebody, and people were taking advantage of that, and that was real shit. And that was the thing that was really bothering me, and me and her talked about this, and it really just made me upset. You know what I'm saying? Like, you tell me what I'm doing, I'm trying my best, and you're telling me it's good enough, and now all of a sudden you're showing me, not only are you showing me it's not good enough, you're telling me now all of a sudden it's not good enough. You feel me? Now I'm getting a conflict of, you know, you're telling me and showing me two different things now. You feel me? And it doesn't make any fucking sense at all. And the second thing that really bothered me, and I think this was kind of a bigger deal for me, was during that time when I was homeless for about a week and a half in Dallas, we had to go to homeless shelters, and I just couldn't do it. Now, if anybody's ever been in a homeless shelter, they could tell you they're not fun to deal with at all. Like, it's just just bullshit. And it just got to the point where I really didn't want to deal with that. I just didn't. I couldn't deal with it. And with the homeless shelters, they have a certain time where you got to be up and you got to be out, you know, doing whatever, whether it's looking for a job, getting your next fix, whatever. I was out downtown. I was in downtown Dallas, which and my ex at the time, she was in like a small city outside of Dallas. I want to say not DeSoto, but it was outside of Dallas, like 25 minutes away. And I had tried talking to her, and it got to a point where I just told him, like, look, I can't do it. And I was not by myself. I was with Coley and Jerian at the time, at around about the same time. But I really was trying to talk to her, because me and her had talked before. She had said she had some money saved up, and I'm not the type to ask for money or for help, but like, I really felt like I needed it at that time. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like really trying to like let her know, hey, how I felt. I'm like, look, I really can't deal with this. I can't. I just, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be rude, but like, look, I don't want to deal with these homeless shelters anymore. I'm not saying I'm better than nobody. I just can't. In myself, I just can't deal with it. And I really needed, could you hook me up with a hotel? And didn't get no response. Like, she was more concerned with her being tired than me being homeless in the street in downtown Dallas. You know what I'm saying? And after I got off the phone with her that night, I cried. Like, I'm not gonna slip here and flex. I literally cried that night. And not to sound cliche, it was literally cold that night. It was cold and fucking raining that night. And it was, I swear, if you could have almost heard sad music playing in the background. That's how bad it was. And it was just a horrible night that night. Tried talking to her, she didn't pick up the phone. She was, after that conversation, nothing. And I didn't really give it much thought then, because my at the time I was trying to get out of that situation. But after we broke up, and I thought about it, because that situation came back to my head over and over again. And the more I sat and dissected it and got past the emotional bit, it broke down something. Like, if you have the means to help somebody and you don't, something's wrong with you. If you're supposedly in a relationship with somebody and they need help and they in some dire need of help, and you don't help them, and you're supposedly gonna get married to them, something's wrong with you. And what makes it even worse is that when she would come down to San Antonio, and yes, I was living with my mother at the time, but I was still working, okay? And even then, when I got the word, my mom heard that she would come down to San Antonio, my mom would, without question, open up the doors for her, make sure she would have a spot to stay. It didn't make a difference how much food she had, what little or much she had. My mom would beat me to the punch, making sure that she had a place to come in. Like, if she said something about her being in a hotel, she was like, nah, she only why she gotta be in a hotel? Why she wasting money being in a hotel when she can spend that money, so y'all can spend time to use that to spend time together? Like, you know what I'm saying? My mom wouldn't even, what? Hotel? Like, there was like one time we went into a hotel, and my mom was like, that was because Simone insisted. And my mom was like, well, okay. But my mom is still even like, stay over, you ain't gotta worry about the hotel, but and what bothers me is that if I were to do some of the same shit that she did, if my ex was in downtown San Antonio right now, and I was in a relationship with her, and I didn't help her, I would be everything but a child of God. I would be an ain't shit nigga. I'd be, selfish. I'd be all that. You know what I'm saying? I would be less than I wouldn't be a real man. All of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I find it odd that when a man is going through something, he's got to tough it out by himself. When I have a partner or a potential partner, and honestly, that made me realize that in a way I dodged a bullet, because if you can't help me when I need it, what makes you, what are we doing? What are we doing here? And this is a dire situation. I'm talking about homelessness. That's a dire situation. You know what I'm saying? And for you to sit up here and leave me at a low point also says something about your character too. You feel me? So, I've talked to very few people about it, and when I have talked to people about it, they'll be like, well, you dodged the bullet. Yeah, you dodged the bullet, man. That ain't right. And yeah, I have. They're right, but at the same time, even though I dodged the full bullet, I still got scraped. You know what I'm saying? And shit hurts, because honestly, I'm not that type of person to leave somebody hanging like that. And it sucks when it's not reciprocated. And that's the big problem. So like, you can't reciprocate the support that I asked for. You couldn't reciprocate help. Like, your man needs help. You can't reciprocate that for your husband, your potential husband. But yet you're talking about, oh, you need to have your own car, place, job, and all that shit. And what pisses me off, honestly, about the shit is, when I first met her, she was living at her mama's house. To this day, since the last time we talked, she's still at her mother's house. How the fuck are you sitting up here trying to hold me to a standard that you can't hold yourself? Okay, you got a job. Okay, you got some money. Okay, you got a car. But you're still at your mother's house. And you expect me to have my own place. For what? So you can come in and just live rent-free off of me? No, this is not how this works for me. I'm sorry. That's not how this works. I don't care who told you. I don't care what your mama told you or what some other female tell you. That ain't how a relationship work. I'm sorry. It just not. And I'm standing up for mine. I don't care what anybody can tell me I'm being a dick about it. I don't give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, I'm standing up for what I believe in. And that ain't right, bro. You cannot expect somebody to go out the way and have they shit together when you do not. And we've actually, the funny thing about it is, we've had this discussion before. Me and her has had this discussion. You know, you still hope we can remain friends after this. Like, how? You know what I'm saying? You gotta, if you're gonna repair something, you gotta go back to where the breakage is and try to see where you can fix the repair. Not just, you know, put some tape on it, some duct tape, and hope it sticks together. No, you gotta go in there, fix it, repair it, break off the broken pieces, glue up the rest. Let's rebuild this thing. But no, that don't want to happen. You just want to gloss over the shit. And honestly, why? How am I going? I'm not. I'm at that point now to where I'm not going to take. You know, I'm not going to lead somebody who doesn't want to be led. I'm just not doing it. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care. If you're not going to respect my leadership, I'm not going to lead you. And after talking with people and thinking about shit and thinking about it over and over, you know, I've had people tell me, well, oh man, you still love her, man. You must still love the girl. That's a negative. I thought about that. I'm like, maybe I still love her. Nope. I don't. Not at all. And then I've had some people tell me, well, you just got hate in your heart. You still hate her. You still hold feelings for her. You hold a grudge toward her. I don't. I really don't. Because that takes too much energy, yo. Like, when you hold a grudge against somebody, you gonna get petty. You gonna be petty. You gonna try to find out what they doing. You gonna try to stop them in their tracks. All that shit. Don't do that. That ain't for me. So I literally sat down and I thought about it. So if I don't love her, I don't hate her. What else is there? So after thinking about it, I just came down to a simple solution. The solution is simple. After all these years, don't care. Not at all. Somebody can call me right now and say, hey, LG, I thought I saw your ex doing this, this, and this, and she doing down bad. Nothing I can do about it. I don't care to, because I'm not gonna keep putting myself out there for people who don't care, like who don't want to, you know, build. Like that's where I'm at. I'm trying to build shit. I don't want to keep spoiling people who just want to be there for the ride. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad because there's a lot of women out there that do shit like this, and there are a lot of guys that deal with shit like this, and I feel like nobody's really talking about this from a guy's perspective. A lot of people are, you know, telling guys, well, just get over it, you know, just do what you got to do, and blah, 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 whoop-de-woo. No. Sometimes you got to confront that thing and actually think about it. Take the time to think about it. Look through your thing. Look through your previous relationship. Look through that breakup. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. I made my mistakes. I will admit that. Some things I may have moved a little bit fast on. I'm not gonna sit up here and flex. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I should have waited, to propose. But like I told her when we talked about it, propose because I felt like, if I didn't, it would have been a problem there too. If I didn't propose, she would have thought really the relationship wasn't going nowhere because, oh, he hasn't proposed to me yet. We've been together for XYZ time. But I for sure ain't doing that shit again. That's some real shit. Not doing it. Not. And if it makes me an asshole to you, oh well. And I told her this, like when I was working in the clubs, we were talking, and I was working in the clubs at the time, and I was trying to get back to that repairing part, and we had to try to have that discussion, and it just wouldn't work. So I kind of got a little upset, and I just told her, I said straight up, I was like, look, I'm around females all day, okay? My job, I work with females all day. My line of work, I see women all the time. Gorgeous one said that too. The fuck I look like worrying about my ex for? Now don't get me wrong, my ex is not ugly. Now she probably may have put on some weight, but she's not ugly. I'm not gonna, drag her like that because that'll be untrue. But physically she's not ugly, but the attitude is. Her personality is just straight trash. Like there's no covering it up. I wanted to. There's been times where I'm like, well, maybe she's not that bad. Well, think about the good times. I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, yeah, we had some good times. I'm not gonna flex, but for you to sit up here and do some shit like that, I can't overlook that. I can't. I can't overlook you leaving me hanging. When I needed your help, and then not only did you leave me hanging, you left me at my lowest point. I can't overlook that. To me, that's a character flaw to me. If you leave somebody while they're at their lowest point, something's wrong with you. And you supposedly love them. That's the person you care about trying to marry to. Come on now. Part of the vows is for richer or for poor, for better or for worse. I guess that part doesn't apply. Either that part doesn't apply or the vows are bullshit. One of the two. This is why I can't, when it comes down to relationships, it kind of makes me question a lot of things. Like, there's a lot of girls that I'm like, okay, cool, she's cute. But I start thinking, I'm like, well, does she like me? What if I told her that she was cute, or how would she go about it? Would she even take it? You know what I'm saying? Or if she does, or if we do hang out, how long is that going to last? Until she decides to not hang with me no more. Like, shit like that. And I honestly think that people don't think beyond their actions. A lot of people don't think beyond, well, if I do this, this may happen. Like, nah, people don't care. People just, especially females, please. No, I'm not bashing women. You know what I'm saying? I know some amazing women. You know what I'm saying? I know some dope ass females, but that's the exception, and the exception doesn't make the rule. And there's a lot of these same dope females that do some of the same questionable shit. Some of y'all that's cool people, y'all do some dumb shit too. Let's not play. I'm just at the point where like I don't care. It is what it is. The more I thought about it, I came down to the conclusion. My ex ain't shit. I said what I said. All right, y'all. That's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoy. It definitely took me a minute for me to get that off my chest. Yeah, I was kind of concerned about, if my ex would see it, how she would think. But at the same time, I thought about it. Don't really care, because obviously she doesn't care because we're not together. So it is what it is. But hope you guys enjoy yourself. Got more videos coming. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, 210LG, Facebook. I'm on Instagram doing my shits. So yeah, I'm gonna be having some more videos, trying to come out with more content for you guys. And I also been streaming a lot more on Twitch too, so be sure to follow me on Twitch at 210LG as well. So All that good stuff coming and much more. I'll catch you guys on the next time. Peace and God bless.
The Dynasty